Good morning. This is Courtney over at Naive Melody Front Yard Farm in Sequim, Washington. I'm in zone 8B and I'm getting ready to start my fall seeds. So I have put just a couple of fall starts in the garden. It's the end of July. Today's July 27th. And I'm gonna go ahead and do some seeds. I usually do my garden a lot by transplants from the nursery. I don't have a greenhouse, so if it's not something that you can easily direct sow, I usually end up getting plants. But for fall, since I can put things out into the sunlight to germinate that way, I'm doing a lot more starting from seeds. So I'm gonna show you what I'm planning on starting, and then we're gonna just go ahead and crack on. So one of the first things I'm gonna do is dinosaur kale. Kale does amazing out here. That's something that you can overwinter really easily, and then you can just kind of keep picking the plants all through winter, and a lot of times even into spring. So I do have some red boar kale transplants out there, and then I had my good friend Kia give me some transplants too. So I'm gonna have a good amount this year, but I thought I'm gonna go ahead and try to do just a couple of the dinosaur kale, because we'll eat kale a lot. We eat it raw, we eat it cooked, I throw it in smoothies and soup, basically anything at all, I just shove it in there. We do the same thing with beet greens and spinach, just throw it in everything because it's tasty and it's good for you. So the other thing, okay, there's two things here that I am so stinking excited to do, because this one in particular, I've wanted to do it for years. I just never have. Part of that is because you don't find transplants for this around here. And in the spring, I have such a hard time getting seeds to start. In my house, I have like no south-facing windows. Like I have one. And so anyways, I always have a terrible time starting seeds. I would love a greenhouse, but I'm gonna try to do this for winter. So I'm gonna do Romanesco broccoli. I just think it looks gorgeous. And I mean, look at the picture with the mountains. That looks like my yard. I need this. So I've had these seeds for, I think I bought them last year. Yeah, I bought them last year. So anyways, we're gonna start those today. I'm very hopeful. I'm gonna do another broccoli. This is Waltham 29, which I know I've grown in the past. The broccoli I did this year, that was so fabulous. I wish I could remember what one it was. I'll have to look. But anyways, it's a very similar one to this, so we're gonna give that a shot. We ate our broccoli like lightning fast. So my kids, luckily, Beckett loves broccoli, so I'm gonna try to plant more of that. So those are just the two broccolis I'm gonna do, but I'm doing a few different types of cauliflower, because that's another thing that we ate so quickly, and I wished I had more, so I'm gonna do more of them. So I'm gonna try this early snowball. I'm gonna try this amazing. I read in one of my books that this is really good for overwintering in this area, and then I just saw the seeds at the store the next day, so I grabbed them. Let's see. Yeah, and with these ones, this one's not naturally blanching, so what you wanna do when you plant cauliflower, if you want the heads to be nice and white, once the heads show up, you take the outer leaves and just kind of tie them up with I use like a hair tie, and so that they are guarded, the head is guarded from the sun, and that way it'll keep it nice and white. So this one does say that you need to do that. My other ones, I didn't need to do that and they were fine. This is the other thing I'm really excited about growing. It is purple of Sicily cauliflower. It looks like someone spray painted it with purple. But the other cool thing this does, it makes me think of like a mood ring. When you cook it, it turns bright green. So I'm really excited to see that. It's like a magic trick. But I just think they look so awesome. I really wanted to get some purple sprouting broccoli. I haven't found any seeds out here for those yet, so I'm keeping my eye out for those, because that's one of the other brassica varieties I really wanted to try this year. I'd like to do some Brussels sprouts as well, but again, my store I usually go to, their seeds were pretty wiped out. Hashtag COVID. So I'm gonna have to hunt around a little bit and see what I can find. And then the last thing I think I'm gonna try to sow today is some Bright Light Swiss chard. I have some red Swiss chard in the garden already, but I wanna do some Bright Lights, and I will probably direct sow them also, but I thought I'd go ahead and start a few transplants just in case the ones I direct sow don't come up and these ones do. So that's the plan. So I'll go ahead and show you. Here, let me move you guys. Sorry to make y'all sick. But I'm gonna do this so you can see what I'm doing. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, that's a little better. So starting seeds is super easy. Some people get intimidated by it. You don't have to. So what I do in here, so I don't make a humongous mess, I don't have a massive potting bench or anything, I get 1 tub of my seed starting mix. I went and looked for actual seed starting mix because it's a lot finer and it's easier for those little baby seeds to pop out and germinate. I couldn't find any anywhere. Nobody does fall gardens here, I guess. So I found this organic potting soil that is pretty fine, and it has a little bit of the vermiculite stuff in it. I actually bought some extra because I thought I'd have to add it, but it's got some, so I'm just gonna go with it. So you can see it's nice and fluffy. And then I get another bin here to put my little containers in. I save the ones I get because, like I said, I buy a lot of transplants, and so I save every container that isn't wrapped and then reuse those, you know, save the earth, save money, all that. So you just go ahead and I go into here. I'm gonna actually, better. I'm gonna do this. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't fall. Sometimes my tripod on this part falls and you just go like, boop, and I lose you. So hopefully it doesn't happen. So basically what I do is I fill it up over here. Just kind of, you know, give it a nice little fill. But I don't really tamp it down too much. So I get a couple of them going. Go ahead and do another one. Alrighty. And then depending on what type of seed I'm planting, you know, will depend on how deep we plant it. I heard a rule of thumb that if you don't know you're planting something, you're like, I don't know how deep to put this. A good like little rule of thumb is to do it twice as deep as the size of the seed. So seeds that are super teeny tiny, you're just gonna basically set them on the dirt and sprinkle a little tiny bit of dirt on top. Think about a big fatty seed, like a sunflower seed or a squash seed. You're gonna put those down twice as deep as they are big. But oftentimes, pretty much always on the back of a seed packet, it will tell you how deep to plant it. So let's see, what one should we do first? Let's do the one we're most excited about. This beauty. So these ones, let's see if it even says. Yeah, seed depth, so it says 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch, and so we can see how big they are. The reason why I like doing it in a little tub like this and then not in the dirt, because you certainly just fill it up and do it there, but if you drop seeds, then you're more likely to find them. So I'll show you, see these little bitty guys. Them's just little guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple in each cell, and then once they sprout, then you'll go ahead and pick the ones you like. So since these ones don't go real deep, I'm just gonna kind of tamp down with my finger a little bit. You can kind of see that, little spots. And then place my seeds. So I think I'm just gonna do, I'm trying to decide, do I do 2 or 3? I'm just gonna do 2. Because I'm doing plenty spots for them. What I try to do too is like, I try to have them not like right next to each other. I try to kind of put them across from each other if I can. It's not a big deal, but I figure that way when I have to thin them out, then I'm not disrupting the one I'm keeping quite as badly. All right. And I'm actually gonna do 2 cells of this because I really wanna have them. I don't want failure. And if I get extra, I can give them away to my friends because they're so cool. And like I said, I don't ever see transplants at our nurseries out here for this variety. So sharing is caring. All right. So once I just need 2 more little seedlets. And then I'll show you how I just sprinkle the seed on top. You know what? This one's getting 3, guys. That's what fell in my hand. All right. So then what I do is I just carefully take it over here and I straight up just sprinkle it on top. Just a little tiny bit. Just make sure that there's dirt basically touching the tops of the seeds. And then I don't really tamp it down. I just kind of smooth it out there. I've seen people actually do this, which I do oftentimes. It kind of keeps it even finer grain on top of your seeds. All right. Voila. And that's it. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and give them a really good, soaking water. I'll spray it with my little spray gun. I'll show you that actually really quickly. I use this to water them. You just basically, tamp it down to get pressure, and then you can adjust the spray. So I lightly spray the top of them. And then what I'll do is I'll fill the bottom up with water so that they don't dry out. That's one of the worst things that can happen with your seedlings is you get them to dry out. And then this will go out front into a really, really sunny spot. So that's the plan. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of crack on and get the rest of these all potted before my kids get up. And then, get them outside. So I'm really hopeful that these come up because I don't always have the best seed starting luck, but I'm usually doing it in the spring. So now that I'm focusing a lot more on my fall garden, I want to try to do a lot more of my own seed starting instead of just getting the transplants, from the nursery. And someday I'll have a greenhouse and then we can do it all on our own. All right, well, that's it. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you're having a great day. All right, bye.